Hello, Indonesia. I'm Sapphire. Check out my interview on CreativeDisc.com, the #1 music website in Indonesia.
Hello, Sid lovers. Welcome back to another Creative Disc exclusive interview with me, Luthfi. And today's guest is coming from UK. She's doing so much cover version of song in her YouTube, and she started doing that since 7 years old. Right now, she's doing a solo career and make her own songs. So let's talk about it in our interview with today's guest. Please welcome Sapphie. Yay!
Hi. Oh my goodness, you have so much energy, and I love it.
Oh, thank you very much.
It's so good. It's so early here, and I'm like, it's woken me up, so it's great.
Oh, thank you very much for your for this interview to Sapphire. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for your compliment.
Absolutely. Thank you for having me.
Okay, so Sapphire, how are you doing today?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm fine too.
Good.
So, what kind of activity that you are doing recently?
Sorry, can you say that again?
Yeah, sorry. What kind of activity that you are doing recently?
Gosh, lots of things. I'm very, very busy and just making music, really. I haven't stopped for the past month, just making music.
Such a
So I'm loving it. Yeah, I'm trying to be. Trying my best. But yeah, I mean, we have our lazy days, but oh well. Oh, it's fine.
So tell me more about your new single called Repeat.
Oh my goodness. So Repeat is a song about overthinking and kind of constantly going around in circles in your head and trying to free yourself from it. The song, I wanted it to feel kind of repetitive and as if it's really hurting. And then suddenly at the end, you get this big, crazy ending and it feels free and it feels like freedom. And I really wanted to get that right and hopefully get the balance right so that everyone can feel the same, because every time I hear the ending it gives me goosebumps because it feels like literally the most freeing sound in the world. So I hope everyone can feel that too. So
because I want to talk about unique things towards the end of Repeat song. It's kind of unique. So you flipping the song into more experimental sound after you played sugary pop before. Like, is it any reason behind it? Is it any any kind of train of thoughts when you are making that boom after some sugary pop type and like, I don't know, it's like kind of experimental on this set, and I'm pretty like, whoa, really?
Yeah, I mean, oh my goodness. So I literally sat there and I hadn't written a bridge or an ending or a middle kind of section for the song. So I sat there with the producer and I was like, I can't think of anything. And I wanted the song to be right because it felt so good. It was going so well. And I was like, I think we need to go crazy. So I kind of said to him, do whatever you want, put whatever sounds you want in it. I do not care. Just please make it sound just so weird. I honestly, I don't know what's in that ending, but something about it just makes me feel just so good and it feels so right. So I sat there in the studio going, that is it. That's what we needed. That's what felt right. And it just worked and it clicked. And I mean, it felt kind of brave to do because I feel like no one does that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
But it was really nice to do and it felt right. And yeah, I just hope people like it.
So the main culprit with the experimental one, it's your songwriting team, right?
Yeah, I wrote it all myself. So I wrote it all alone in my room and then took it to the producer and I was like, hi, can we create a song to this? So yeah, it was originally a very sad piano song, which you wouldn't know. Yeah, it was really sad. And all the kind of recordings I've got, all the demos, they all sound like incredibly sad. So
you said that this song is kind of like Daft Punk meets Madison Beer, and I was like, wow, that's kind of unique. What's your inspiration and influence when you are doing this track?
Oh my goodness. Definitely those two artists. I mean, I kind of wanted a nice crossover between really nice happy pop and more dark electronic sounds. I really wanted a really nice blend between the two, which is the whole Madison Beer kind of Daft Punk thing. It was interesting because we had a lot of like kind of 70s disco music as influence for it as well, kind of all the groovy bass and kind of nice groovy high pitched guitars and things like that. Also the drums being kind of drum machine, which is another like 80s influence. So it was kind of influenced by a lot of things, which I guess kind of created the chaos now thinking about it. So it kind of made something that's never been made before in a way. So yeah, I just hope that people like it.
But you've got so many references in this song. I think it's like wow, for making just one track, you've got so many
I got
references.
so many in there.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
But how you put it in one room, I think like when you're making so much reference and put it in one song, it kind of too much, I think. But you know what's the trick, making a song with the many references without being too much?
I think the thing you got to kind of do is pick the bits you like the most. So like in the 80s stuff that I took influence from, it was specifically the drum machines. So all the kind of really crazy drum sounds, I wanted to take that bit specifically. But then in the 70s music I took from, it was the groovy bass and the way it sounded. Or like Daft Punk, it was the vocoders and crazy harmonies and things like that that kind of brought that element in. So I think it's like picking the bits that you love the most and bringing that instead of going, oh, I love this whole section, which is strings, bass, guitar, and drums, and going, let me add that, but also add the bass, strings, guitar, and drums from this reference too. And it becomes kind of a mess. So it's kind of bringing the little bits and putting it all together and hopefully it working.
But what's your favorite kind of Daft Punk song or album, maybe?
Oh, that is a really hard question. Oh,
Ooh.
I can't answer that. I love all the like stuff they did with Pharrell Williams, like the Get Lucky stuff, because I
Ooh.
know it's generic, but it was so good. And
Yes,
it's
yes.
just that was a big influence for this song because of the groove to it and that like bass that everyone knows. And
Yeah.
like it's that feeling that you just have to feel it. And it's
Yeah.
yeah, it's just iconic and I just love it. So I just wish they were back together. I don't want them
Yeah,
to split
they
up.
recently say that Breakup, Random Access Memories is such a
Yeah.
dope album. It's such a great album, I think.
I was so sad when I heard the news. I was
Yeah,
like,
me
this is
too.
so bad.
So you said that Repeat is a song for overthinker. Why you make
Yes.
this song with that kind of approach?
Because I think it's something that comes naturally to me. I
Mm.
am definitely an overthinker in every way possible. So for me, this song came so naturally. The words came really naturally. The
Ooh.
feeling came naturally because it felt like me and how I was feeling at the time. And talking about something that means something to me is the only way I can write music. I can't write it about something that I've never experienced or never been through because I find it hard to relate and I can't sing it with my full passion. I definitely say that I sing from the heart, not the head, because I have to feel the words that I'm singing and repeat. I can definitely feel every single word that I say, which is really special because there's not a lot of songs that I can say wholeheartedly that I can really, really mean in the moment. So this was a really special song because it is something that just relates to my everyday life.
So, in your opinion, how do you coping with your overthinking?
Oh my goodness, this is like a therapy session. I in all honesty,
Yeah.
I write music. That is how I deal with it because I struggle to talk about how I'm feeling to other people. I kind of keep it to myself. So my way of kind of dealing with that is by putting my feelings into words and lyrics instead. So I'm very odd because I won't tell my best friend how I'm feeling, but I'll tell the world in a song. It doesn't make any sense, but it's
It
the way I deal with it.
it's kind of liberating when you're talking through song, right?
Yeah.
So you are doing so many different cover songs on YouTube. You are
Yes.
covering other people's songs on YouTube, but this is the interesting question. Like, is it kind of hard for you when you are making your own original song?
To be honest, that's the bit I think that comes the most natural to me because I feel like when I'm singing someone else's song, I can't mean everything. As I just said, like I can't like mean every word because it's someone else's words. Someone else has written their story and I'm just singing it. I obviously love singing other people's songs, and there's some great classics that I just sing every single day in my room, whether it be like a Taylor Swift track or Whitney Houston, like that I will sing anything. But getting to tell my own story and hopefully relate to people and the listeners is the most magical thing, and it's what I love most. And it does actually come really easily, which is kind of lucky. So, yeah, I love it.
So like you've always making a cover song on YouTube. So if you can pick one, what's your best cover song that you have done?
Oh, that's so hard. Why is the question so hard? My goodness. I think to be honest, I think it's one I did recently, which is a cover of Skinny Dipping by Sabrina Carpenter.
Ooh.
I think that was my favorite one to do because I spent ages trying to get it right. And Sabrina actually posted it out on her Instagram story, which was really cool. So I
Wow,
kind of like it felt
congratulations.
right. Thank you so much. I was so happy. But I think that was my favorite one to do. Um, but yeah, it's a really hard question because I've done like 550 videos on my
Yeah.
YouTube channel. So
So you're already making cover song on YouTube since you are 7, like am I right?
yeah, yes, that is it.
So can you recall the first time you're done your cover on YouTube?
Oh my goodness. Yes. So like I did a cover of This Is Me from Camp Rock. Um
Ooh,
yeah, I know. It's like
such an old song. Oh my
I
god.
know. And the thing is at that time it was like the best song in the world and we
Yeah, yeah,
didn't
yeah.
know what was coming. So, yeah, I sung that and I
Mm,
just remember filming it and I didn't brush my hair that day, which was
mm,
terrible and I
mm.
regret it very much. But I seriously believed that if I wore the same top and jacket going out the next day that people would know who I was. I was like, if you get a video on YouTube, then everyone's gonna know who you are, except only like 3 people had seen it the next day. So of course no one's gonna know who I am when I wear the same clothes. So it doesn't make any sense. But I think for me, that was like such a special song to me at the time, and still is. And it was like my first viral video because it got like 100 views in a week. And at that point in YouTube kind of time, that was huge. That was like
Yeah,
loads.
yeah, yeah,
So
yeah, yeah.
I was so happy. And I mean, I'd love to go back and tell 7-year-old Saf that she should brush her hair and that she just needs to actually make an effort. But it's an embarrassing video. But if anyone would like to go and watch it, you can if you want to, because it's apparently still there.
So what's the difference doing music when you are 7 and 8 and 9 and when you are doing music when you are older?
I think when I was like 7, 8, and 9, I think like it felt just like a ton of fun. Like it was really easy because I just kind of like just sung in my room and there wasn't kind of any pressure to like get things right or perfect. And when you're young, you kind of have you don't fear judgment as much as
Yes,
when you're older.
there's no target, right?
Exactly. You
Yeah,
kind of
yeah, yeah.
feel like you can do anything and no
Mhm.
one's gonna care. But as I've gotten older, of course, like I've become more self-aware. I'm more fearful of judgment. Um, and like I get really scared of like releasing a new cover, which I never used to, because I feel like I've given myself suddenly a standard in my head that's kind of like it needs to be better than the last one. And your last cover was better than the one before that. So like it needs to like get better every time. Um But in another way, I feel more free and more able to create my own stuff and be more open as an artist. And obviously, being able to release my own stuff is just really special. And that was never something I ever dreamed of as like a 7-year old, And I'd love to go back and tell Saf when she was 7 that, she'd be writing her own music. But yeah, no, it's I think it's harder now than it was, obviously, because when you're a kid, you don't care. But I'm definitely just grateful for that. I just kept going because I think there were multiple times when I was younger that I was just like, nah, I'm just going to stop now. Like, I don't need to keep going. It doesn't matter. Like, no one's going to care if I stop YouTube. But it really did matter in the long run. I'm really happy that I kept going.
But what's the motivation to keep you going? Because you are doing music and cover things since like 7, and you're now 18. Am I right?
Yes.
And it's like 7 years. Like,
I know.
wow. What's your motivation to do it? Like, it's 10 years is not a short time. It's a long time. You're
I
doing this
know.
1 decade.
Yeah, gosh, I think the motivation to keep going, honestly, I think the one person that kept me going was my mum because
Ooh.
she always would say to me that, like, the world is your oyster and you can do whatever you want. There's no boundaries to you or limits to your powers. And she saw a perspective that I never saw at the time, which was that as a 9-year-old, I was inspiring other 9-year-olds to achieve their dream and do the same thing. Like they had a dream of becoming a vet. And because they saw me becoming a singer in a way, they were like, oh, it is possible to achieve my dream as well. And she saw it in a different way compared to me. I just saw it as like, I just make videos. This is a lot of fun. But she saw it in a very different way. And she definitely motivated me to continue my journey. And I am so glad she did because this is my everything. I've loved music forever. It's all I've ever known. Um, and it's just, I know now that like I love inspiring people and I love to get a message across and make people feel good and feel happy. And I remember the first time I did kind of like a big performance show, I just saw like they put all the lights on the crowd and they never normally do that. And I just saw all these happy faces looking at me and I was like 11 and they were smiling because they were having a good time. And I was like, this is all I want to do. Like, this is it. This is all I want to do for the rest of my life because I've put a smile on these people's faces. I don't know what they're going through. I don't know whether they've just had a really bad day and my performance has made them happy again. So I, it was like magic. It was really cool. And that was just a moment for me that has stuck with me forever. And yeah, people loving and being happy motivates me to keep going as well.
Oh, you are such a, you tell your story from your 7 and until now in this just one interview. Wow.
Yeah, you're getting the full story. This is like a biography being, yeah.
So, like, when you are 7, you're 8, you're 9, you're 10, you're 11, you're in your kids, you felt like, oh, this is my peak. But as getting older, this is not a peak, right?
Sorry, could you just
And so
quickly say
so,
that again?
so
Sorry.
because when you're younger, you kind of like, it is my peak on 11. But when you're getting older, no, it's not the peak. I should achieve more. Do you ever feel
Yeah,
like that?
definitely. I think, the goals I had when I was 8 were very, very different to the ones I've got now. When I was 8, it was like, gotta reach like 100,000 subscribers and like perform in front of 100 people. But I did that and then it goes from 100,000 subscribers to like 250,000 subscribers. And the moment you hit that, it's then like 500,000. And like the goals just keep getting bigger and bigger and bigger until they feel like they are unreachable. And I think at this point, I definitely feel like in a way they're unreachable because I feel like I'm running out of time already. And I'm so not. Like I'm only 18, but I keep having to put it in perspective of like, you're still a baby, Saf. Like, you have so much time. And I keep putting the pressure on myself to just do something huge tomorrow, you know. But I think goals are really important. I think big goals are really important. But I definitely think having smaller achievements is key to staying motivated and to keep going. Um, and that's something I learned from my younger self. So,
So let's talk about the everyday things like movies. So you're such a
oh.
Harry Potter fan. Tell me the first time you fall in love with the series.
Oh my goodness. Okay. I was like 5 and I
My
read
God.
the first book and I was like, this is like the world I want to live in. I don't know if you can see it, but I actually have like a Hogwarts thing over here that I
Ooh.
built with my sister, and it's made of paper, and I have it on display all the time. um, but yeah, I was like 5, and I think Harry Potter got me through the whole like pandemic last year because it felt like I could escape to another world, which is exactly what I needed. And my sister and I have a ritual that every release I do, so every song I release, we stay up till midnight and watch one Harry Potter film until it's released. So we time it right. So when Repeat came out, we started the film at like 9:27 and then it finished at midnight. So we were like, this is great. That's what we do every time.
So you must memorize all of the Harry Potter series, all the scene, all the dialogue, isn't it?
Oh yeah, I sit there and I'm reciting the words as it's going. I'm like, I know these lines.
But if you can rank the Harry Potter series, which one, in your opinion, is the best one?
Number 3. Prisoner of Azkaban is definitely the best one. But
Yeah.
after that, I think probably I'd then say The Half-Blood Prince, and
Ooh.
then I'd say the first film, Philosopher's Stone, because it's a comfort movie. Um, then I'd say The Chamber of Secrets, then Order of the Phoenix, then Goblet of Fire, then The Deathly Hallows Part 1 and Part 2. So that's my order.
Yeah, because I like the Harry Potter movies that I like is like Prisoner of Azkaban
Yeah.
is like really a turning point when Harry Potter story goes dark and goes not like the Philosopher's Stone with the you were right, Philosopher's
Yeah,
Stone is such a comfort movie. It's
it's a
like
comfort movie. I feel like
yeah.
it just feels good to watch. It's so nice.
Yeah, but when Prisoner of Azkaban came and boom, the Harry
I
Potter
know.
story is like
Honestly,
wow. But
it's a big change. Big
yeah,
change,
yeah,
but it's my favorite one.
yeah, me too. Because all the character development is turning is turn. Yeah,
You know this stuff. I love it.
yeah. Because all the character development in Harry Potter. I think like Harry Potter in the start like oh okay this is the fantasy things. But when I read Prisoner of Azkaban like oh god this is such a story because everything like seems downhill from here.
It honestly, I love the character development so much. Like the way that it suddenly goes really dark very, very quickly on film 3 is just like it's perfect because it just gets darker and darker and darker and keeps going. But yeah, Philosopher's Stone's like the happy one. It's the
Yeah,
only
yeah,
happy
yeah,
one.
yeah, yeah, yeah,
The
yeah.
rest are like
It's like,
chaos.
but it's kind of like true to the real world because after happy one you must realize as you're going older you must realize the real consequences of it, right?
Oh my goodness,
Yeah,
literally.
yeah,
That
yeah,
I've never seen it that way before, but that's true. Yes,
yeah.
I agree.
So, in terms of class types of Hogwarts, what class type that suits you the most?
Hufflepuff and you can do like the whole test thing where like you can find your house and whatever. So I'm a Hufflepuff. And I think like class wise, I think like I do like transfiguration because I want to turn into a cat sometimes. I think that'd be really cool. You know how like Professor McGonagall can turn into a cat? Like that's just so I would like to do that. Like imagine. Life would be so easy.
So I pick I'll just talk with my friends and we do the test, and I'm on like a Gryffindor type, Gryffindor or yeah,
Ooh,
Gryffindor and Ravenclaw type, but
fancy.
it's like a quite close to the Ravenclaw type, but I'm on the
Yeah.
Gryffindor on the majority. So I say that my friend, am I like a Slytherin type? No, 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 you're not a Slytherin type.
Definitely not a Slytherin type.
Yeah,
Definitely not.
if you're in Slytherin type, you will not be here.
No. Oh, that's brilliant. I love how you guys have done the test and everything. That's great. Yeah. No, I'm a Hufflepuff through and through. I am just a Hufflepuff. Like, yeah. But there's no characters in the film that are like leads and a Hufflepuff, though, which I'm
Yeah.
disappointed about. Only Cedric Diggory, and he dies in the end. So it's sad.
So, like, do you have any favorite movies besides Harry Potter?
I love Notting Hill, which is
Ooh.
a very classic rom-com. It's got Hugh Grant and Julia Roberts in it, and it's absolutely amazing. It is a film I've watched way more times than I can count on my hands. Like, it's amazing. I love it so much. It's wonderful.
But you recently watched some series or maybe like some movies recently?
Yeah, I'm currently watching The Chilling Adventures of Sabrina on Netflix,
Ooh.
which is so good. It's super like spooky, which feels right for October. And what else have I watched recently? I mean, I love Friends. Friends is like my show. Like I can't go a day without watching one of those episodes. I can't. Like, it's my happy place. That and Gilmore Girls. I love Gilmore Girls. The outfits are just my inspiration. So
So, if you can mention album or records that changed your life, what is it?
what a hard question. I think one that did is Tapestry by Carole King. I actually have the
Wow,
vinyl
wow,
back there. I love
wow,
it
wow,
so
wow,
much.
wow. That's a
It's
nice
beautiful.
choice. That's a nice choice.
Oh, thank you. Yeah.
Wow.
I love her so much. I just feel like her songs resonate so much with me. But Rumors as well by Fleetwood Mac. I had the my first vinyl was Rumors by Fleetwood Mac. So I was like, that it's special to me. And my nan absolutely loves the songs. So it reminds me a lot of her every time I listen to them. So yeah, those are my two picks, I think, that kind of like changed my life as an artist and just in general.
It kind of shocked me when you are on this age, you're listening to much singer-songwriter type like Fleetwood Mac and Carole King. Oh my God.
Yeah, I love them so much. Them and Carly Simon. And I sadly lost my Carly Simon No Secrets vinyl recently, and I'm so sad because I love it so much. But yeah, those are definitely my favorites.
Like, do you know Ash, like the moral of the story song? Moral of the story.
Sorry. Oh yeah,
Ash,
yeah,
yeah.
yeah.
Moral of the
I
story.
love that
I
song.
already interviewed her.
Oh,
Ash in the
I bet that was so special.
in the last year, I think, and she's like your type of album too.
No
She's
way.
yeah, she's like Carole King Tapestry, and she's making out of career wants to make a Carole King Tapestry.
Oh, that's so cool. I love how
Yeah.
yeah, that's really, really cool. That's awesome. It's a great album, so
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
it's
yeah.
great.
It's like almost the blueprint of the singer-songwriter. If you want to make a singer-songwriter song that confess everything about your life, you should listen to Carole King.
Honestly,
Yeah.
she's the one. She is the one.
So mention 5 things we didn't know about Sapphire.
Okay, so first one, I eat pizza from the middle with a knife and fork. So
Huh?
a lot of people eat
How can?
like
How can? How can?
I don't know.
How? How?
Like some people, most people either eat it with hands or they eat it
Yeah.
with a knife and fork from the outside
Yeah.
in.
Yeah.
But no, I start from the center because
How
I'm
can?
weird. I don't know. It's so weird. Number two, what else? I honestly love coffee with all of my heart. Like, I adore coffee. It's all I drink,
Hmm?
quite literally. Number three, I currently have 280 18 books in my bedroom alone. That doesn't include storage.
Wow, wow. You are such a bookworm.
I know.
What's
Yeah.
your favorite type of kind of reading?
Oh, probably like either romance books or fantasy, like obviously Harry Potter and stuff. So like things like that. But also like self-help books. So things about meditation and kind of like the power of like yourself and the universe and whatever. Like I love reading things like that. Things that are really inspiring as well. Like, yeah, those are my favorites.
But if you want to jump into another genre of books, what kind of the books that you want to read? The genre only. The science
I
fiction one?
I kind of, yeah, so like I kind of want to go into like horror stuff.
Ooh.
So like yeah, like science fiction, but like really dark science fiction, like Stephen King stuff. I've got a couple horror books that I haven't read yet, but I don't do well with horror films. So I'm kind of like, eh. But I want to try it. I want to say that I've done it. So I kind of just, I think I need to bite the bullet and do it. I think it's time. I need to read
Yeah,
a
yeah,
horror
yeah.
book. I think it's
If
time.
if you want to go another level, next level, you should read much more about Haruki Murakami's novel.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, yeah.
Interesting.
It's kind of like wow, it's kind of like love relationship, but it's like in extreme way. You should
Ooh,
read it.
okay. Thank you for that.
Yeah,
I
yeah,
love
yeah.
a good book recommendation.
Because I know I'm kind of like a bookworm too.
I love that.
Yeah,
Oh,
I've
we'll
just
get
recent.
on well. I mean, you know what Harry Potter is. You know all the films. You know what house you're in. You're a bookworm.
Yeah.
We could talk for hours.
Yes, yes. I recently just read like 25 books in this year.
That's amazing.
Yes, it's including comic. I've read so a lot about it, and if you want to
Oh my
like
goodness.
read from Indonesian novelist, it's called Eka Kurniawan. Is it like a good one too?
Whoa. Oh my
Yeah.
goodness. Thank you for those. Love that.
So another five things.
Okay. Oh yeah, so I did 3 was my books. 4. Hmm. 4. I learnt to play piano by ear. My mum taught me chords, but I learnt classical music by ear. So I'd listen to a classical piece and then I'd mimic it on the piano. And that's how I learned how to play classical music on piano. That is fact 4 of 5. 5. Oh, let me have a think. Hmm. This is really hard. Ooh, I'm trying to think now.
Okay,
Uh,
maybe I just give a clue. What's your favorite books of all the time?
oh, okay. My favorite book of all time is
Besides Harry
probably.
Potter, anyway.
Oh yeah, I
Yeah.
mean Harry Potter's like yeah the best series in the world. But I love this book called The Italian Girl by Lucinda Riley. I read it in a day. It's a book that's huge. It's massive, but I read it so quickly because I loved it. It's all about an opera singer, and it just kind of felt right for me because it's all about music. So that is definitely my favorite.
Ooh. Oh, I just remember you should read Convenience Store Woman by Japanese novelist. It's kind
Oh
of
my
like
goodness.
yeah, yeah, it's like Convenience Store Woman. It's a very very good
Oh, I
story.
think I've heard of it actually. I think I've heard of it before. So I think I need it. It's obviously the universe is telling me I need to read it. So
Yes, yes, because it can fit to you to read it. It's kind of like a
yeah.
girl with the mundane job, convenience store
Yeah.
cashier,
Okay.
and she's got friends like just quit it, and he said no, I just kind of liberating of the mundane things. You should read it because
I love that.
when
Okay.
I just stop say it right here because it's gonna be so spoiler too much.
I love that. Okay, I'm gonna look that up and get it.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. So what's next for Sapphire?
More music, more releasing. I've got more singles coming out, and an EP on the way, which is exciting. So lots of things like that. Hopefully some shows because
I
I
mean,
love it.
I
And
mean,
yeah, I literally love it so much. And yeah, just lots of releasing. I'm filming a music video on Wednesday, which is exciting. And yeah, just lots of writing. I'm writing all the time at the moment, getting in the studio soon. So yeah, it's all very exciting. And hopefully you'll get to hear some new music a lot sooner than you think, maybe.
Okay, what's the kind of, can you tease the new music kind of like?
Oh, a bit different is probably
Again?
again. Yeah, no, I'm joking. Like it's not too far out. Like it's still on the same wavelength, but yeah, just a bit different.
Okay, so Sapphire, thank you very much for this interview.
Oh,
Oh my
thank
God,
you
we
for
talk
having
so
me.
much. We talk so much about book, Harry Potter, your music, your career on the last 10 decade. Oh my God. Wait, what? Sorry, 1 decade. 10 decade is too long. It's 100 years.
Yeah.
Sorry,
Oh
sorry.
yeah. Oh my goodness. It's just like, yeah, you've been on like YouTube for 100 years.
Yeah.
It's been quite a journey.
Yeah. So
Feels like that at this point.
yes, exactly. So people, this is my interview with Sapphire. Thank you very much for having me. Thank
Thank
you.
you
So
having me.
creative disc
Thanks.
creative disc lovers, seed lovers, thank you very much for watching this interview. I'm Luthfi and this is Sapphire checking out. Thank you very much. Bye bye.